I think the greatest way in which the arts has impacted our student achievement has been um, under the umbrella of democratic practice. Our kids are now advocating for themselves around their academics. So, in a classroom, you'll see students engaging with their teachers, but in a way where they're telling their teachers, this is not working for me. I need something different. And I think that really truly stems from the arts, the democratic practice that we instill in our kids, that they have voice. For example, in kindergarten, you'll see them downstairs in theater expressing themselves. And now we see that carrying through. At our latest school governance council meeting, we were talking about how much we've actually empowered our students, and where we are now making changes to our master schedule because the students have asked for that. A specific result has been when we were working with a specific artist in residence, and we had a kind of a pre or post test, and the students themselves, their fluency increased over that time period. So it had a direct impact. And then I think when you're looking at what's required of us from the state, right, we have to take our standard assessments. But when our kids were approaching the SBAC 3 years ago, our kids would have said this was too hard and given up. But the kids are like truly attempting to do well on the exam. They're not giving up. So there's some tenacity that's been built into these kids. And so the character development, I think, overshadows the academic component. But we're turning the corner, without a doubt. We're seeing trends that our kids are producing better, both in math and ELA, and I think that's because of the arts.
So here at Nathan Hale, we have 45-minute essential blocks, 2 per day per grade. In K through 3, every class samples every essential. When they get to 4th grade, they get to pick and choose which essentials they want to specialize in. The way we built the schedule so that kindergarten and 1st grade are at the same time, 2nd and 3rd grade are at the same time, and 4th, 5th grade are at the same time, so that we can have some combining of classes if we want to. So for example, in 4th and 5th grade, we have some ensembles, dance ensembles, music ensembles, and theater ensembles that combine 4th and 5th grade. Gives us a chance to be able to have a larger group if we want it, or to have a more integrated or more diverse group if we want it. So that's kind of the big picture with the essentials.
So my 5th grade class was studying poetry, looking at meter, rhyme, rhythm, and some of the figurative language elements like metaphors, similes. And when Lisa and I had kind of passed in the hallway, I had thrown out to her, "Hey, I'm working on poetry. What do you got?"
So my thought was immediately a song that I knew that was all metaphors, Windmills of Your Mind. We found 2 different versions of it, the 1960s arrangement and a more current arrangement by a cappella artist Take 6. Jenny had her students listen to those and then select a short phrase from there that they thought they might be interested in and moved by.
And it was nice to have both versions, because then we were able to tie in some of the standards about comparing and contrasting text, some of our opinion work, and which one do you like better and why. So it helped us to really tie in some more standards there. So we brought our selected snippets down into small groups into the music room, where Lisa had set up kind of a playground of percussion instruments.
So students started out choosing a few things that they were interested in using, and then as they went along, if they were looking for a different sound that they couldn't find, they could ask me and we could dig into my closet and get out some of the fun stuff. When they were all finished with their projects and their soundscapes that they were creating for their poetry, we rehearsed a little bit, and then it was time for a share session.
So when we share in 5th grade, we give feedback to the presenters. We use a praise, question, polish. So they start off by giving a polish or a suggestion for improvement. They ask a question about either the process or the product, and then they give a praise or a compliment. So that gives them a framework to provide the feedback to their peers, but while also making sure it has meaning.
So one of the unique offerings that we have here at Nathan Hale is a room called the Pages Cafe. The Pages Cafe serves two functions here. It is our storytelling center where the children can rely on a wonderful story told with great drama, which they pick out themselves. And it is a place where we are developing an artistic makerspace. So in the cafe, there will be many centers that are set up so that the children can express their creativity. So there will always be different building centers for science and for engineering. Children can build with magnet tiles, or they can build with different kinds of Legos. They could even build with different recyclables that I might challenge them with. There will always be art tables where they can paint. And there will be different kinds of board games where they can learn about good sportsmanship and turn taking and being gracious as they work with each other. And our hope is that the love of literacy and the enjoyment and personal expression and the practice of these great social skills will make them wonderful citizens as they go out into the world.